Coronation Street's Hope Dobbs continues to pursue her feelings for schoolmate Will Driscoll next week, but how will her best pal Sam Blakeman react when he sees them looking cozy? Disapproving of her daughter's new crush, Fizz invites Sam round for tea with the aim of getting the pair to rekindle their friendship after their falling out over Sam's fixation with Will. Despite Fizz's high hopes that her daughter will forget all about Will, however, the plan goes seriously awry. Hope defies her mum and refuses to stay in with Sam, explains our Corey source. Fizz doesn't approve of her daughter getting to know Will after everything that's gone on between him and Megan, but Hope insists that she's going out with him, no matter what. Hope's always been rebellious, so now that she's a moody teenager, Fizz doesn't stand a chance against her. As a humiliated Sam digests Hope's careless announcement that she's off out with Will, his muddled mind starts to play tricks on him once again. With Sam already going through such painful inner turmoil, how will he react to his friend Hope's brutal rejection of him? Corey kicked off this story earlier this week as Hope and Will started studying together in the back room of the Rovers. Hope wasn't shy about revealing that she fancied Will, who was just grateful for the company after having his life turned upside down by Megan over the past few months. Eva Price was pleased to see the pair getting along so well. However, Fizz was quick to put her foot down as she urged Eva to help her set some boundaries for the teens. "I would hate Hope to be rushed into anything she's not ready for," Fizz warned in a discreet chat at the bar. "You know, in some ways, she's really young for her age. I might be being naive, but I would just like her to keep her innocence for as long as possible. I think we should keep an eye on it. If they are just friends, then that is totally fine, but if it is any more than that, then me and Ty would have a big problem." In Weatherfield, where secrets never stay buried for long and emotions always run higher than anyone expects, a quiet friendship between Hope Stape and Sam Blakeman had been growing into something far more delicate than either of them fully understood. It wasn't loud. It wasn't dramatic. At least not at first. IT started in the schoolyard, between shared lunches and whispered jokes during break time. Sam, gentle and thoughtful, often found himself drawn to Hope's unpredictable energy. She was fiery, sharp-tongued at times, but strangely protective when it mattered most. And Hope, who often felt misunderstood by adults and even her own family, found in Sam someone who didn't judge her too quickly. They just fit, in the way children sometimes do before life teaches them how complicated feelings can become. But Weatherfield has a way of turning small emotions into big consequences. It began with a Will story. A school assignment. Nothing more than a creative writing task where the children were asked to imagine a future life, or a story about legacy and loss. Sam had written something soft and emotional about his mom, about family, about wanting to grow up and keep his dad's memory alive in the right way. Hope, however, took a different path. She wrote about a girl who had to leave the place she loved the most without warning. A girl who didn't say goodbye properly. A girl who made someone she cared about believe she would always be there, before disappearing anyway. Sam read it first. At first, he smiled. He thought it was just another one of Hope's dramatic stories. But the more he read, the quieter he became. Something in the tone felt too real. Too close. There was a line in it that stuck with him like a thorn. "Sometimes you don't leave because you want to. Sometimes you leave because staying hurts more than anyone else can see." That night, Sam didn't sleep properly. The next day at school, he waited for Hope with unusual nervousness. When she arrived, swinging her bag like nothing in the world could touch her, he held out the paper. "You meant this?" he asked quietly. Hope glanced at it, shrugged. "It's just a story." But Sam didn't believe her. Because Sam always felt things deeply, and more importantly, he noticed when people tried to hide what they truly felt. Over the next few days, something shifted. Hope started pulling away. At first it was subtle. She stopped sitting next to him at lunch. She made excuses when he asked her to walk home together. She laughed less when he tried to cheer her up. And each time Sam asked if something was wrong, she gave him the same answer. "Nothing. Stop being weird." But Sam wasn't convinced. He began to wonder if the story wasn't just fiction. If it was, in some strange way, a reflection of what Hope felt about him. About everything. Then came the moment that changed everything. He would ask her properly. Not as a friend trying to guess. Not as a boy afraid of the answer. But as someone who needed to know the truth. He found her near the park after school, sitting alone on the swing. The sky was turning orange, the kind of sunset that made everything feel temporary. "Hope," he said softly. She didn't look at him. "I knew you'd come." That line unsettled him more than anything else. "What's going on?" Sam asked. "Ever since the story, you've been different." Hope kicked lightly at the ground, making the swing move slowly. "I didn't think you'd take it so seriously." "You wrote it about someone leaving," Sam said. "Someone who hurts the person they care about." Hope finally looked at him then. And for a moment, the confident, loud Hope Stape was gone. In her place was just a girl who looked tired of explaining herself. "Sometimes people leave first," she said quietly, "so they don't get left behind." Sam's chest tightened. "Are you leaving?" he asked, barely above a whisper. Hope didn't answer straight away. That silence said more than words ever could. "I might have to go somewhere," she admitted finally. "It's not decided yet. But if it happens, I didn't want you to think it just came out of nowhere." Sam shook his head, stepping closer. "So you were preparing me with a story?" Hope shrugged again, but it wasn't careless this time. It was defensive. Fragile. I didn't know how else to say it. For a moment, neither of them spoke. The park around them felt too big, too empty. Sam's voice cracked slightly when he spoke again. "So all this time, you knew you might leave and didn't tell me properly?" Hope's expression softened. "I didn't want it to feel real." That hurt more than anything else. Because Sam understood that feeling. He knew what it meant to lose people suddenly. To have life change without warning. And yet, hearing it from Hope made it feel different. Deeper somehow. "I would have wanted to know," he said. "I know," Hope replied. "That's why I didn't say it." The honesty in that sentence hit Sam harder than anger ever could. He sat down on the swing beside her. "I thought we were friends," he said quietly. "We are," Hope said quickly. Then softer, "We are." But friendship, Sam was learning, didn't always protect people from heartbreak. The wind picked up slightly, rustling the trees above them. "So that's it?" Sam asked. "You just leave and I pretend it doesn't matter?" Hope looked away. "You'll be fine." "That's not the point." Silence again. And in that silence, something changed between them. Not broken entirely, but stretched thin, like something that could snap at any moment. Hope finally spoke again, her voice quieter than before. "I didn't want you to hate me." Sam turned to her immediately. "I don't hate you. But you're going to," she said. "When I'm gone." That was the moment Sam realized the truth. Hope wasn't just leaving. She was already halfway gone emotionally, preparing herself for distance before distance even happened. And Sam, despite everything, wasn't ready. "I won't hate you," he said firmly. "But I will miss you." "That's worse." Hope blinked, trying not to show emotion but failing slightly. "Yeah," she whispered. "I know." The sun dipped lower, casting long shadows across the empty playground. They didn't hug. They didn't make dramatic promises. They just sat there, side by side, two children trying to understand an ending that hadn't fully arrived yet. And in Weatherfield, where endings rarely come cleanly, that was somehow the cruelest part. Because sometimes heartbreak doesn't come with shouting or tears.